Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Luke Pipala Show. We have a really packed episode for you, so we're just going to get into it. Jordan Peterson recently went on Jubilee. And if you don't know Jubilee, it's this YouTube channel where they have one person versus 20 people, and they have the completely opposite view. So Jordan Peterson went on Jubilee, and the original video, it was about an hour and a half, and I watched it on YouTube. Jordan Peterson goes on Jubilee, and it's titled, One Christian versus 20 Atheists. And what ended up happening was there was a lot of backlash for the Christian side. And in large part because Jordan Peterson didn't represent the Christian side of the debate. In fact, he didn't even decide to identify as a Christian in the debate. So what ended up happening was YouTube switched the video from one Christian versus 20 atheists to Jordan Peterson versus 20 atheists. So here's a clip. And then I'm going to talk about really the whole overarching theme of this whole episode. I think it's very important that we just expose how Jordan Peterson is a fraud. So here's a clip from that, and you'll see Jordan Peterson. Jordan's going up against this young atheist, and he doesn't even identify as a Christian. Watch this video.
Why is that relevant?
Because you go to a Catholic church, don't you? Or you've attended recently. You're interested in Catholicism, aren't you?
Sure.
All right. Are you familiar with their doctrines?
Somewhat.
Okay, you're
Their
familiar.
doctrines are very
How do they
deep.
regard Mary?
Why are you asking me that?
Because you're a Christian.
You say that. I haven't claimed that.
Oh,
The whole video, the whole premise of this video is that Jordan Peterson's a Christian. It was originally titled One Christian versus 20 Atheists. And yet he's refusing to identify as a Christian. And this is somebody that Jordan Peterson, who has defended the Christian faith, defended the Christian faith, or more so been somebody to align with Christian values and has posed as a Christian. He's never publicly said he was a Christian, which is very weird why Jubilee would label him as a Christian in this video. But let's continue, because this young liberal is pressing him, and you would think this person is somebody in the Christian faith, somebody that believes in Christianity, but this is an atheist. It's very interesting to see this perspective hashed out and him corner Jordan Peterson on this particular idea, despite being an atheist. Here we go.
what is this? Is this Christians versus atheists?
I don't know.
You don't know where you are right now.
Don't be a smartass.
Well,
And I mean
either
it,
you're a
'cause I
Christian
won't
or you're
talk
not.
to you if you're a smartass.
Oh, either you're a Christian or you're not. Which one is it?
I could be either of them, but I don't have to tell you.
The video is literally labeled One Christian versus 20 Atheists. You should probably say that you're a Christian. Or, as you can see right here, people online, people on social media, it's completely blowing up in his face. We're all saying, what the hell? Let's finish the video, and then I have a point to get across.
You don't have to tell me. I was under the impression
private.
I was invited to talk to a Christian. Am I not talking to a Christian?
No, you were invited to.
I think everyone should look at the title of the YouTube channel. You're probably in the wrong YouTube video,
You're really quite something, you are.
aren't I? But you're really quite nothing, right? You're not a Christian.
Okay, I'm done with him. Why is that relevant?
We need to watch this one more time. Listen to this last part.
I think everyone should look at the title of the YouTube channel. You're probably in the wrong YouTube video,
You're really quite something, you are.
aren't I? But you're really quite nothing, right? You're not a Christian.
Okay, I'm done with him. Why is that
So that was that. That was a little bit crazy. But this goes to the larger sentiment of what people online are feeling right now. Because it's like Jordan Peterson, ever since 2015, 2016, when he blew up, was this guy that was on the right, and he was defending traditional gender roles and talking about transgenderism and stuff like that, and mainly to target young men and to help young men because they didn't really have a leader in society, which was true. Jordan Peterson used to be somebody that all of my generation, I'm in Gen Z, all of my generation respected. But ever since October 7th, ever since 2023, that point, everything has started to shift. And you start to see him defend Israel, and we'll get to that in a second. But he's kind of going against everything that he built up, more or less like Ben Shapiro. We won't talk about him. But in particular, Jordan Peterson, Jordan has lost the young Gen Z males. 100%. That we've went elsewhere. We've went to other sources of information. We've went to other podcasters, or we've just simply left his side. Because it's really hard to listen to him when he starts to get into this mode where he's denying Christianity in a way, even though he's fought on behalf of Christianity and defended its values, principles, yet for some reason he doesn't want to come out as a Christian, for lack of a better term. And this is exposing him as a fraud, because his whole entire video, once again, it said one Christian versus 20 atheists, and then they changed it to Jordan Peterson versus 20 atheists. This young atheist correctly points out you are in the wrong YouTube video. You are not identifying as a Christian, yet the video is titled 1 Christian versus 20 atheists. And the kid's flaming a little bit, which is fine. But you know what? He dismantled him. He shut him down. And to that I say, this is exactly what all the internet and all of my generation's feeling. Is what we're all feeling, dude. You are a fraud. You've defended Israel, which October 7th was horrible. We get it. But you've defended Israel ever since then, when they have gone on to the offensive, when they have killed innocent people time and time again, and we see it on video. We're not being led astray. It's not like this isn't happening. Like, we could see it. And you're continuing to saying, oh, the war is justified, they all need to die. Like, what? So and I'm sure the benzo withdrawal and the addiction to these pills isn't helping him at all. But like, why were you on these pills, Jordan? Why were you on benzos in the first place? And why'd you get addicted and all of that? And so I don't know if it was for pain or whatever, if he was actually addicted to these pills, but it's like people online were really pissed. And I'm going to read a couple of the comments here. We're not going to put it on screen, but this is very important. I do want to really stress, like, people are not happy with Jordan. He is being exposed as a fraud. So right here, bro was running circles around him. Atheist wins debate by asking other side if he's really Christian. It's true. Elijah Schaefer, you guys know him. Jordan Peterson got cooked by a shithead. But the better question is, how dishonest has Jordan Peterson been about his faith that people thought he was a Christian? I'm telling you, the Zionist grift off naive Christians to support the political agenda, but they are not Christians. I'm not going to read the next one. But just people are saying he's an agent of Israel, overrated midwit who knows nothing about faith, politics, or philosophy. That's not true. I've read and listened to his podcast, his lectures, some of them. He's a very intelligent guy. He does break down scripture. He does break down the Bible. And it is very fascinating to see what he's trying to get from that. Jordan only worships Israel. Jubilee could have made sure that they got at least a Christian to do this. I think they were under the impression they did. Somebody said to them. Peter Steen has torched his legacy. Thank you for telling us to make our beds, I guess. This is all true. What a fall from grace, man. What a fall from grace. Jordan Peterson was somebody everybody looked up to. All my friends looked up to. We all listened to him. We all watched his lectures. We watched his YouTube videos. This guy was somebody that was so great to follow, and it's just sad that he has been exposed as a fraud. It truly does hurt my feelings. It does make me sad. I understand that his wife has had some, not his wife, but his daughter, I guess, is on the left, and maybe she had some pull, some influence into why. People are speculating she's had some influence into why he's kind of taken this shift over the past 2 years. But even then, bro, it's like, come on. I don't get it. Should I play another one? Let's play another one. I have another video to play, and it's like kind of outrageous where he is getting owned, and then we'll move on to the next topic. This has been that same Jubilee interview with another young atheist, and kind of gets owned.
Do you believe in the all-knowing, all-powerful, all-good notion of God?
What do you mean by believe?
Do you think it to be true?
That's the circular definition. What do you mean
How
when
is
you
that
say
circular?
Once again, this is an atheist, and he's literally asking Jordan Peterson, do you believe in God? Do you believe in the almighty, ever-powerful God? And he goes, is that a circular question? Like, bro, it is a yes or no. Why are you doing this? Just say your yes or no. It's not that hard. I don't know why he's not doing. Once again, Jubilee is literally calling this YouTube video, or they called it 1 Christian versus 20 atheists. Either acknowledge that you're a Christian or deny it. It is that simple. But it's kind of starting to sound like a grift.
believe?
How is that circular?
Because you added no content to the answer by substituting the word true.
This thing worked 10 years ago. This whole thing that he's doing, the dancing around words and kind of being technical with it, trying to be like a magician and get you to forget about your question just enough where he can kind of insert his own little opinion in there and work words. That worked 10 years ago. But like now we all caught up. We've been watching you. We've been fans of you. We really looked up to you. And then for some reason, you're grifting. It appears to be a grift. I just really don't respect this anymore. He is a fraud. We're going to continue.
And believe.
I said you think it to be true.
All right. So if
What's
you
a
believe
belief?
something, you stake your life on it.
What do you mean by that?
You live for it and you die for it.
Okay, so you're saying that you don't believe something if you wouldn't die for it? Is that
Not
what you're-
really, no.
Okay.
So then,
How would you define belief? Something you say?
Can I explain? Like, I could believe it is the case that this pen exists, but if someone like threatened my life, right, I would lie in order to be able to save my life, right? Like, I think you would do that too. You wouldn't lie to save your
Don't be
life?
so sure.
You wouldn't lie to save your life?
How much do you know about me? I didn't lie to save my career. I didn't lie to save my clinical practice.
Would you lie to like save your children, your mom, your dad?
I don't think lying would save them.
Can there ever be a circumstance logically that lying could save someone's
Yeah,
life?
and if you're steeped in sin, you're likely to live in circumstances like that.
I'll give you an example. If you're like in like Nazi Germany, and it is the case that there's like Jewish people in your attic, and you're trying
I
to
know.
protect.
Jordan's a big defender of Israel, so of course this guy brings up Anne Frank brings up Jewish people in the attic lying. We'll see where he goes here.
them,
Example.
would you lie to like the Nazis? If
I
they're
would have
asking?
done everything I bloody well could so I wouldn't be in that situation
you
to
lie?
begin with. It's a hypothetical and it's
You
not
can't answer
answerable.
hypotheticals?
No, I can't answer a hypothetical like
What?
that because
Did
it's
you eat
far.
today?
That's an interesting moral question, though. Would you lie to save somebody that you love? Would you lie to make a moral decision to save somebody, to keep somebody alive? And once again, it's very interesting. He's dancing around the topic, saying, I wouldn't be in that situation to begin with. But it's very fascinating, very indicative, and it's the same theme of what he's been doing where he's denying to be a Christian. He's dancing around. Either say you're a Christian or say you're not. I don't understand this.
Did you eat
Don't
today?
play games.
I'm not playing a game. I'm just asking
Yes,
if you
you
ate
are.
it today.
I just told you
Hypothetical?
I would do everything that I could to make sure that I'm never in that situation. By the time you've got there, you've made so many mistakes that there's nothing you can do that isn't a sin.
Being born in Nazi Germany and trying to protect people that you care about, like there could be a Jewish friend that you have and you want to protect them.
I think you should
have
just
them in
give
your
up on
attic,
that line of questioning.
But like, okay, again,
Why? That's a decent line of questioning. I don't understand why he's so shut off. He's so harsh to this line of questioning.
you're not answering this hypothetical because you know it shows that you clearly would lie to save
I'm
someone.
It does.
Answering it in
Obviously,
a
that's
manner
not what
you
truth
don't
is.
find acceptable.
Obviously,
Because
'cause I care about
you're-
truth.
I wouldn't be in that scenario.
We're done. That's the end of it. What a fall from grace, man. Jordan B. Peterson, I am just very disappointed. One of my not childhood, but adolescence, I guess. That's what you are when you're in high school. Somebody when I looked up to in high school, man. I truthfully thought that he was just a great leader, a great conservative, a great defender of the conservative ideology. And as I grow up, I see that he is a grifter. And so it's very sad. It's very unfortunate. What are you going to do? Carmelo Anthony has been charged with first-degree murder as an adult under Texas state law. I could have told you that. I could have told you this was going to happen. When he got $500,000 from the GoFundMe, or it might have been more now, I could have told you this is how it was going to happen. They got $500,000 and they couldn't even get a decent legal defense in Texas. That's a little bit crazy. I remember his family had they bought or they rented like a $900,000 home in Texas. They had all these nice cars with all that GoFundMe money. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm not even going to read the Twitter comments, but we need to talk about this. We need to talk about Carmelo Anthony getting charged with first-degree murder. But we have to go back to the story, okay? Not enough people in media talked about Austin Metcalf getting killed by Carmelo Anthony. Both 17-year-old athletes, both in Texas, at a track meet. A lot of people on social media, a lot of people that happen to be black, but some that were white, said that Carmelo Anthony was justified in murdering Austin Metcalf. Now, I read the article, we had the YouTube clip, but we're going to revisit it. So this kid, 17 years old, Carmelo Anthony, I guess he was a good student. He's supposedly had a 3.8. He brought a knife to a track meet. First off, red flag, maybe? Can we say that's a red flag? I think that's a red flag. Continuing on, okay? He goes and he sits in the tent section where it's the opposite school. So it's not his school. He goes to the other school's tent, sits in it. Austin Metcalf, who belongs to that school, comes over and says, hey man, that's my seat. You don't go to the school. I was sitting there, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it gets a little hostile. Maybe. He pulls out a knife that he brought to his track fight that he's going to be participating in, stabs Austin Metcalf in the chest, ends up killing Austin Metcalf. And there were people that said this was justified. Really? A lot of people are very hateful, is what I found out when doing research. A lot of people are very hateful to white people. And this is a race thing. This is exactly a race thing. This is what this whole case was. But right here, okay? Let me just show you what this is. A lot of people were very mad that all of this money, this GoFundMe money, it went to renting a home, which you would think you raise all this money and it's supposed to go to your legal defense. But this is what the family, if we look back, this is from the New York Post. The Carmelo Anthony family was living in a $900,000 home in a gated community, and they bought a new car after he was released on bond in that Austin Metcalf murder case back in April, okay? And so the reason I'm playing this for you, and I'll get to the point that I was originally making, and I'm sorry that I deviated, but it's really important. This is the home. This is a home. Very pricey home, a $900,000 home. This is the gated community. This is the neighborhood, okay? A very expensive neighborhood. And this is him, right? Here's that gated community again. And this is Austin Metcalf that he killed. We're just going back to it, okay? So this happens, and people were saying, "Oh yeah, he's gonna get out," and they were saying this death was justified and all of this stuff, really really bad. But I had to show you that was what it was, right? That's what happened. But now that he's committed, now that he's charged with first-degree murder, all these people have been proved to be very delusional. Like, it showed a very dark side to America. And then, of course, after a couple weeks later, we had the incident where the white woman in Minneapolis, she said the N-word. She called the black kid the N-word, and she got like $900,000 from I think it was a different GoFundMe, or maybe it was a different website. Nevertheless, racial tensions are up there, right? Stuff is happening. People are allowed to be saying more on social media. But like I said a month ago, and like I will continue to say, we should not be justifying murder in this country. It doesn't matter what race murders the other race. Murder is bad. Cheering on, saying somebody was justified in murdering an innocent kid, it's just disrespectful. It's just everything wrong with this world. Why are we pushing this? Why is this continuing to be pushed on us? It just doesn't make sense. Why do you bring a knife to a track meet if you are 17 years old in high school? Why do you bring a knife to a track meet, period? But why are you bringing a knife to a track meet if you are an athlete? It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. And people tried to say, oh, well, he deserved it. Like I said, very disrespectful. A bunch of different TikTokers, a lot of them black, some of them white, a lot of them black, saying this was deservedly so. And I'm sorry, I can't not say what I see. This is wrong. Obviously, there were a lot of people that wanted Austin Metcalf or supported Austin Metcalf being killed. But I don't know how you thought that Carmelo Anthony was going to get off. I'm sorry, the evidence was very blatant. Multiple news articles that I pulled up on the show, and I said, hey, I read exactly what it was. And I said, hey, he's going to be committed. Like, this is going to be first-degree murder. And people in the comments were saying, yeah. Believe it or not, the clip that I had, a lot of negative comments in the clip. It had like a little bit over 1,300 views in the clip I posted a month ago about the same issue. A lot of angry people in the comments. But the ratio, the like to dislike ratio, I had more likes. The percentage of likes was higher than most things on my channel. A silent majority is what happened when it came to this thing. A lot of people didn't like this kid being blatantly murdered, and they tried to turn it into a race thing. But what did you expect? What did you expect? Of course, under Texas state law, this kid was going to be put away in jail and charged with first-degree murder. This was one of the most clear-cut cases, and revisiting it a month and a half, 2 months later, it seems like my hindsight is pretty accurate with what I was predicting at the time. Like, of course he was going to be charged. Of course. And it was just so crazy when you see the mother. Let's play this real quick. I do have this video. This is the mother back in April on the 17th. She disputed the claims that they've raised fundraiser money to buy a house, right? And so I showed you exactly what they bought. The New York Post was talking about that. And you can tell exactly what type of people these people are. Been around these people before, but people that are going to just leech.
And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser.
Well, that's not true, actually, man, because I can pull up right here a New York Post article, actually, where Carmelo Anthony was renting a $900,000 home in a gated community, bought a new car after release on bond in Austin Metcalf murder case. Oh, look, once again, here's the gated community. Oh, look, once again, here's the gated community. Oh, look, once again, here's Carmelo Anthony. Nice suit. And here's the gated community. Yes, that's just it. Initially, he was being held on a $1 million bond, and then they slashed it. And then go down that, like, once again, this is your gated community. That's it. So you're full of shit, lady. You are full of absolute shit. This was one of the most angersome things that I've read over the past, or covered over the past couple of years on the show. And it was so blatant. It was so blatant. These people were playing the victim, and it's good to see justice. So I hope he's in jail for life. I hope that he's in jail for life. There's just nothing else to say. There's nothing else to say. I'm reading a tweet right here, and this is a minister. This is from April 14th. And I'm sorry to continue to go over this topic, but like, how could you not see that he was going to be in jail? How could you not see that? Right here, I'm reading this tweet. We're not going to pull it up. Minister Dominique Alexander, Carmelo Anthony is safe at home. This moment is a reminder that a community united can never be divided. Their journey ahead is long, but today we celebrate a victory for justice, for family, and for the power of people coming together to protect our youth. Thank you to everybody who stood with us. The fight continues, but tonight, Carmelo is at home. Yeah, bitch, he's in jail for the rest of his life. I just hate how... And here's the thing, too. They let him graduate. Could you believe that? They let him walk in his graduation. That is so crazy. Okay, sorry. So right here, I'm reading this from an article. We're not going to pull it up. It's real quick. Advocacy group Next Generation Action Network says Carmelo Anthony is set to graduate but not walk after the family reached an agreement with Frisco ISD. He was allowed to graduate high school. He couldn't walk. Boo-hoo. Dude, you murdered a kid in cold blood. You brought a knife to a track meet. Stabbed this kid in the chest, killed him at the track meet, for which you were at that track meet because of your school. You killed a kid at your school event. You killed another student at a school event, and they let you graduate. That's a little insane. That's a little insane. And so, once again, I'm happy that he's going to be in jail, hopefully for the rest of his life. 17-year-old charged with first-degree murder as an adult. Don't mess with Texas. I'm very happy to hear this. I'm very happy to see this. Regardless of race, you cannot ignore the amount of hypocrisy in all this. People wishing death on the victim. Good. That's all I say. Good. I'm here for it. As long as he can be in jail. Put him in jail. I apologize. It's really frustrating, man. It's very frustrating. We have Whoopi Goldberg on The View. Should I play this? I might not play this. I think I will play this. Whoopi Goldberg is going viral. Oh, shit. Whoopi Goldberg's going viral. And why is she going viral again? Well, she's saying that she was shocked that Joe Biden wasn't fit for office after it came out that he had all these mental struggles behind the scenes from Jake Tapper. She says she never saw anything to point to him having health issues, but she's now outraged that the media didn't tell her. We're going to play this for you. Folks, you cannot make this up. You couldn't write this. The amount of hypocrisy from everybody in the left-wing media, but particularly The View, and how they have a combined IQ of 50. We're going to play this for you. Enjoy.
Trust issue with
there
the
has
voter.
always been a mass trust issue because politicians, media, nobody does what they're supposed to do. Now, I say, for me, listen, he's 83, so he's a little stumbly, he's a little rumbly. I can't...
A little? A little stumbly. A little rumbly. Really? That's it.
Point to anything that he's done as that he did.
No, but that he's running for his next 4 years.
But I'm saying, I want, not you, but I want somebody to tell me, well, when did you know it was bad? If you knew, why did you wait?
When he fell up the stairs, it was pretty damning. That was pretty bad. What else did he do? I don't know. Maybe the debate. In the first 10 seconds, Trump comes out and then Biden comes out and he just couldn't get a word out. And we're all sitting there. I'm sitting there with my family and I took the Lord's name in vain. And I don't take the Lord's name in vain. I'm a Catholic, but I took the Lord's name in vain there. I said, wow. Like I have secondhand embarrassment for this person. Like, you feel bad. He's still the leader of our country at that point when he came out in the debate in June against Trump. And it's like, you feel bad for the man. But that was really bad. All of the gaffes, when he fell off the bike, that was really bad. That was national news, and everybody said, oh, he's sharp as a tack. He's the brightest he's ever been, our president, our fearless leader. God bless him. He is the best version. This is the best version of Biden. And that's what everybody said, man. Everybody said that. Let's finish this.
Yeah, so can I answer that,
Can I get in
He
for a
said
second?
that it was after he moderated the debate.
Can I
Yes,
get in?
but that's not, I'm sorry, baby. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you're telling me that hundreds of people knew that he was not able to do his job, then where the hell was everybody?
Hundreds? Bitch, we all knew. We all knew. The whole country knew that he wasn't there. We didn't have his faculties. Let's do this. Let's search Biden gaffes and we'll just see. We'll see what we come up with. So here's one, ironically. Here's back to when Biden in 2022, he actually said that he had cancer at the time. Let's play that. Now that it came out that he does have cancer. Let's play that for a second here.
And because it was a 4-lane highway that was accessible, my mother drove us, and rather than us be able to walk. And guess what? The first frost, you know what was happening? You had to put on your windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer.
This was in 2022. That's a little odd. And everybody, believe it or not, everybody was just like, oh, okay. What about when he was reading the teleprompter and he said, end of quote, I just read end of quote.
Well addressed, President Eisenhower spoke of the dangers of the military-industrial complex. He warned us then about, and I quote, the potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power, end of quote.
End of quote. End of quote. But folks, I'm not doing this whole thing justice at all. I'm not, because he had many gaffes. So what are we going to do? We're going to look at a compilation and just tell you really how bad it was, despite Whoopi Goldberg not being able to articulate all of this stuff. It's a compilation. It's a small recap, but 4 times on tape that he did fall. Oh, not this one. Not this one. Oh. Oh, Lord have mercy. But Whoopi Goldberg had no clue. That's insane. And that was in 2023. That was almost 3 years ago. You're telling me that she had no clue? None? She had no clue. How about this? How about that first debate between Biden and Trump? Let's play that. Let's play a compilation of all his gaffes from there, and then we will move on from this topic.
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare, we're trying to provide housing for Black Americans. The impact on the choice, the idea that they're gonna, I'm proposing that everybody, the millionaires pay 1%. So no one I've not raised the cost of Social Security for anybody. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. And wants to get away with, get rid of the ability of Medicare for us to be able to negotiate.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
The drug prices with the big pharma companies. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires. Billionaires.
1,000?
No one was hurt. No one Israeli was accidentally killed, and it stopped. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
Should I continue? Should I pull up more? Because there's more. I mean, here's a compilation of the Democrats lying about Biden's mental acuity. We're going to play that. Because these are all people that are saying, I had no clue. And Whoopi Goldberg was, mind you, and she's stupid. But a bunch of people in the media now are saying, we had no clue. Biden was having a lot of problems behind the scenes. And here are all those people saying, oh, no, he's better than ever.
Does the president have the stamina, physically and mentally, do you think, to continue on even after 2024?
Don, you're asking me this question. Oh, my gosh. He's the president of the United States. You know, I can't even keep up with him.
The most difficult part about a meeting with President Biden is preparing for it, because he is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented and focused.
I can testify because I've been working very closely with this president for the past 2 years. I've been knowing him for 30 years. And I'm telling you, this guy's tough. He's smart. He's on his game.
Joe Biden has vision. He has knowledge. He has a strategic thinker.
The president is focused. He's detail-oriented. He's always thinking about the big picture.
He is engaging. He is capable. He has an incredible record as president.
Jake Tapper's hearing all this.
And
Jake Tapper was hearing all that, and that he just released a book talking about all the stuff behind the scenes that no, Biden was not okay at all, and yet he's shutting the hell up during that. A little bit sketchy.
I'm often with him on foreign trips. He's at the top of his
She's
game.
the devil,
So
too,
he has a
Janet
vision.
Yellen.
He has knowledge. He has judgment. He has a strategic thinking.
I met with the president, 5 or 6 weeks ago, and he seemed fine to me.
I have complete confidence in the president. I have watched him expertly guide meetings of staff and cabinet members. I could not have more confidence in the president.
I would just tell you that I meet frequently with the president, and every single time I meet with him, he is just fine.
Look at those bags under Mark Milley's eyes. Look at those bags under his eyes. That's somebody that loves to go to war. Somebody that loves killing kids. This is the devil right here. Not a good guy. That's all.
But he is,
This bitch again.
knowledgeable, wise.
Incredibly sharp, incredibly probing, incredible command of the details.
He is sharp.
He is on top of things.
There is nothing to these challenges, these suggestions that some...
I mean, look at this. 68% of Americans at this time during the 2024 election said Biden is too old for another term as president. And yet every single person in the media, minus a couple people at Fox News, were saying, oh, he's sharp as a tack. That's the best Biden ever. He is running around even us. He's just doing mental push-ups, mental acrobatics around all of us. He is so much more prepared than us. Frankly, he's Jesus Christ. That's what they were saying.
Somehow he's not sharp and he's not capable.
We see Joe Biden up close. We know how attuned he is to the issue.
And you're going to see how smart he is and the experience he has. I say his age is an asset.
He's wise.
Yes, he's wise. He has wisdom. He has experience.
And his experience, because of his age and his wisdom, has been invaluable to this country.
A lot of countries, people who've been in office a longer period of time are praised for their wisdom.
I have seen a lot of 72-year-olds not as capable as this 80-year-old.
It is hard for us to keep up with this president.
His mental acuity.
It's hard for you to keep up? Full of fucking shit.
Is great. It's fine. It's as good as it's been over the years. He's fine. All this right-wing propaganda that his mental acuity has declined is wrong.
And this kind of sense that he's not ready for this job is just a bucket of BS that's so deep, your boots will get stuck in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, bucket of BS that's so deep, your boots will get stuck in it. I keep hitting the mic. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit passionate about this issue because the American people that lived in America, we all thought the same thing. We all thought the same thing. And yet they continue to tell us, oh, sharp as a tack, running circles around. What are you talking about? You thing you see in front of your eyes? That's not real. Get the fuck out of here. Really? So Whoopi Goldberg was shocked that Biden wasn't fit for office, and either she's a dumb bitch or she's just lying. Probably both. I have one more topic to get to today, and then I'm going to shut the hell up and get out of here. Pride Month is coming. Pride Month will be here in a couple days. And we always come back to this point. Every June, you see rainbow flags all over. Last year was the first year that you didn't really see rainbow flags a lot. After 2023 and the issue with Target selling transgender clothing to children, everybody kind of woke up because there was a huge Target boycott. And then they announced they wouldn't put a bunch of LGBTQ stuff in the front, until which a couple of people were mad. Here's what I'll say about Pride Month. We don't need it. And frankly, I wish it would go away. Think about it. Why do people who have heterosexual relationships not have a month? Okay, because it's normal, whatever. And we have a day for veterans. We have a day for mothers, a day for fathers, a day for Memorial Day. Today's Memorial Day. We're remembering all of the fallen soldiers. We have days. We have a day to remember the birth of Jesus Christ and celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. We have a day to celebrate his resurrection. We have different days for different religious holidays, ceremonies, whatever the case may be. We have 9/11, September 11th, the day to remember 9/11. No other group of people has an entire month. And the idea that you should just have a month for putting a dick in your mouth or putting a dick in your ass, it's a little bit crazy. Can we acknowledge that now? Are we past this point where it's a taboo subject that we can't talk about? Can we also talk about how corporations love Pride Month because they're now able to push rainbow-colored clothing, bottles, drinks, foods, whatever, just increase the profits. You know that, right? There was a time and point I was on Twitter a couple years ago, and there was a Mercedes-Benz ad in Pride Month, and it was two lesbian couples holding hands in front of a car that you would assume is a Mercedes-Benz, but the lesbian couples were in front of the logo, so you couldn't even see if it was a Mercedes-Benz or not, yet it was in Pride Month. when do we have to stop seeing the commercials where homosexual couples are making out in front of kids and they're pushing this out on kids' channels in front of kids? When do we not have to live in that world? I don't even care if you don't show heterosexual couples kissing. Frankly, if they're children, if they're young children, why are we pushing romance in front of them at all? Case in point, let's continue to go on. Why do we have LGBTQ stories on places like Netflix, Hulu? We don't have straight stories. It just doesn't make sense. The idea was to accept these people into our society. Now, do I have sympathy for the gay, lesbian, bisexual? Of course. Trans is a whole entire different thing, and we're not even going to talk about it. An election was just one on the premise that this whole transgenderism thing is way too far. We're not even going to talk about that. But the whole point of the Pride Parade and the whole point of all this, I thought, was to accept everybody into the society, to accept gay people, to accept lesbians, to accept bisexual people into the society. And guess what? They've been accepted. Like, there's no issue. Nobody's trying to hurt these people. This isn't a video calling for violence against this community. It's not happening. But, like, why do you need a month for sucking cock? Right? Why do you need a month for taking it up the butt? Right? Why do you need a month just because of your sexual orientation? It doesn't make sense. It never made sense to me. We have so many other people that do so much more rather than just take it up the ass. I don't think that having an entire month for a group of people based off of their sexual preferences, sexual orientation, their lifestyle, we don't have that for literally anything else. So can we get a month for Veterans Day? Can we get a month for Mother's Day? Can we get a month for Father's Day? A lot of you don't have fathers out there, and it really does show. But it's gotten to the point where, like, I'm good. We're good. An entire election was won on the referendum that, like, you guys are going too far. You can have your day. You can have half of June, but you can't have all of June. All I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It never really made sense to me. And I know a lot of people feel the same way. And once again, this is not a call to violence. This is not a call to even anger. But it's like, it just doesn't make logical sense. That's it. I'm sure we have gay viewers of the show. I'm sure we have lesbian viewers of the show. Maybe not. But I'm sure we have bisexual viewers of the show too. I have people of all those walks of life that I've encountered in my life, or that I encounter on the daily in my life. I don't have a problem with those people. Those people have done nothing wrong to me. But the idea that one group of people gets an entire month to themselves, and we are forced to grovel at the feet of these people when we may or may not agree with their lifestyle choices, what they do in their free time, what they do behind closed doors, really doesn't bother me. Shouldn't bother anybody else. But it's to the point where we're forced to say, oh, this is Pride Month. We're forced to see all the shit in the stores. When these corporations, they don't care. It's merely a thing because they're making a profit now. In 20 years, in 15 years, in 10 years, if this isn't profitable, you're not going to see it. That's all it is. That's all it is. So they can have a day. Mother's Day, Father's Day, Veterans Day. You can have a day. And I'm not saying don't do the pride parades. I mean, I just won't go to them. That's all it is. You can still have them, I guess. But, like, don't take kids. I see naked dudes last year, at least, on Twitter. Naked dudes walking around on Twitter in New York at a pride parade, and there's kids there, too. I don't think that's good. I think that's also something that got Trump the presidency back. Just saying. But, like, can we just cool it? Can we just get back to, like, a point in time where we all accept each other? Because the whole racial tension's going back up again in a way that I don't think people are ready for. And we're going further to the right now. And I just don't want us to go too far right. I'll benefit no matter what. But there's going to be certain groups of people that don't. So it's very important that we just find the medium. We don't go far left. We don't go far right. Let's just get to the medium and understand, like, going back to it, this whole idea of Pride Month. It just doesn't make sense. That's all. And that's the show, believe it or not. A little bit of a shorter show today. Hopefully, you can all like and subscribe. Like the show, subscribe to the show. Watch more of the show. We're really getting close to monetization. And it's very important that you watch all of my videos. All of the Luke Pipala Show videos, all of the Innocent Villains podcast videos. Folks, we need your help. We need watch hours, and we're getting real close to monetization, but we have to zero in, and we have to kill it. So I hope I'm killing it. Hope I'm killing it with the content I'm providing for you. Hope I'm providing intriguing content, something entertaining, something that you enjoy watching. I hope I'm doing that. And I think for a large part, I am. And I hope you didn't interpret that as bigotry, because I really don't think it was bigotry. But it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? This doesn't seem fair. And I know life isn't fair, but for a group of people that it's just a sexual orientation, just a sexual preference, you're just putting something in you. That's all it is. I don't think we should have a straight Pride Month. It's not something that I think is necessary. Have a day. Have a day. Be as gay as you want on that day. You're going to be as gay as you want whenever, on other days, whatever. But Pride Month just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. We don't need it. We don't need it. So that's the show. I have nothing else to talk about. I've run out of topics. I've run out of energy. I'm beat. It's been a long fight. Hopefully these things start to really, really perform well. We're closing in. Live streams are coming, which will be cool. But yeah, that's it. I don't have much else for you. Good night.